Okay, let's take two. Let's try this again and see how we go. So, if you're joining me, welcome. We are going to change things up. I know normally on Thoughtful Thursdays I come on here and I pull some cards, but I'm going to be starting a new session over the next 7 weeks where I'm going to be giving you little bite-sized exercises to work with your spirit animal. So, tonight is the start of that 7 week journey that we're going to go on together. And we're going to learn how to connect with animal energy and their wisdom. And it's going to allow you to discover, to connect with, to learn from your spirit animals. And then each Thursday, we're going to focus on a different aspect of working with those animals, with their medicine, combining meditation, journaling, and practical exercises. So, for those of you joining me, welcome. I want you to grab a journal because you are going to need that at the end of this. You cannot, however, watch the recording, which should be equally good for those that couldn't attend. Now, I am having a bit of a hard time with my technology today. It is not liking me. So I am going to just keep trying to see if I can see comments, but I'm going to get started. And then we're going to hope that it's there. So if I can't see the comments come up, I will just engage with you after I stop the video. So tonight, what I want to start with is I really kind of want to go over a little bit about what spirit animals are. So the form of animal energy work that I practice is universal. And I have to thank our dear friend Raina because she's come up with a title for me called Animal Soul Guide. And so I've embraced that. I love it because not only does it cover animal communication as a whole, but it covers a lot of the mediumship I do with animals, and then, of course, the spirit animal work. So, as I said, the form of animal energy work that I practice is universal. It doesn't come from a particular culture. I don't do ceremonies from a particular culture because I believe we all have our own creativity and connection to animals. And so, this is what I want to share with you guys on this journey. We have our own access to the spirits who can give us these amazing healing methods and direct revelations. And I've personally chosen to not study with any particular culture, but to work with my own spirits as teachers. And this is what I'm going to encourage you guys to do. Now, there's not to be said that you can't, by all means, study with any type of practitioner or culture that you want to, because that's a beautiful thing as well. This is just something that I've chose that works for me. And I'm going to share with you guys exactly whatever it is that I've learned. So you choose the path that feels right to you. That's the most important. You're always going to hear Tara and I say, take what you can and leave the rest. All right. So we have a lot of animals that we can work with, and we work with their energy, just as we do the moon, the earth. Now, I have a master animal guide that I work with, and then I have various other spirit or power animals. And the question I get a lot from everyone is, how am I going to know the difference between a spirit animal, a power animal, a totem animal? Now, spirit animals are spirit animal guides who appear when we need love, strength, support, inspiration. Power animal traditionally is a spiritual energy that you call on from within or evoke assistance in a specific situation. So, power animals are kind of the equivalent of animal spirit guides or spirit animals. Others believe you incarnate with this type of guide. And then you've all probably heard the term totem animal, which is pretty much aligned with indigenous cultures for that particular term. Um, and media and I find totem and power animal are somewhat interchangeable. So, for the purpose of our time together, you're going to find that I use spirit animal a lot, though you might hear interchangeably used between the different sort of terms. So, what is a spirit animal? A spirit animal is characterized as a teacher or a messenger that comes in the form of an animal, and it has a personal relationship to us. And these animal guides help and guide us and protect us on our journeys. And it's believed you don't choose the animal, but rather it chooses you or has already chosen you. And the animal is there to provide medicine or energy to the recipient in the form of guidance, lessons, and protection. So, with that quick summary, I'm going to let you know Today, we're going to work on meeting your spirit animal. All right. So we want to discover that animal. Some of you might already know who that is, and by all means, call them in. But what I'm going to encourage you to do for the next week until we see each other next Thursday is to do a morning practice. So I want you to find a quiet space. I want you to sit comfortably, and then I want you to close your eyes and take in 10 deep breaths. And I always like to take in a deep breath for the count of seven. I hold it for seven, then I exhale for seven, and do that 10 times. You can do whatever feels naturally to you. Just don't start hyperventilating. This is just about getting yourself connected with your energy. And then I want you to visualize yourself walking through a natural setting, whatever calls to you. If it's a forest, if it's the desert, if it's the ocean, just visualize yourself out in nature. Then I want you to allow an animal to approach you in this visualization. And don't overthink it. This is really going to be, what is the animal that's approaching me? And I want you to pay attention to every detail about that animal. How does it sound? How does it move? How does it interact with you? And then I want you to pay attention during the day if you are getting reoccurring signs from that animal. Is it a name that constantly pops up? Is it an image? Is it a feeling about the energy? Is it certain traits around that animal? And in your evening journal, I want you to sit down, and you can even do this after your meditation in the morning, but I want you to describe that animal. I want you to sit down and I want you to write out in detail. What did you feel? What did you see? And it might be something even as you're starting just as simple as a color and knowing, I see a golden yellow and knowing that that's associated with lion. So don't overthink it. Just lean into the right brain part of this and really just enjoy the process, okay? And then when we're journaling, the other thing I want you to do is just initial feelings around this too. What are the feelings that's coming up? So it's not just about all the visualization. And then the fun part starts. I want you to research the animal's natural behaviors and habitats. Okay. A lot of times, what we do is we tend to Dr. Google or deep dive on Google. What does this animal mean? Which is great. You can do that around, you know, the everybody else's definition of spirit animal. But what I want you to do is research the natural behaviors and habits, not the spirit animal definition. So if, for example, my master guide is a raven. So I would search into, what do ravens do? Well, they're tricksters and they like to play in the snow and they like to forage, and so I would research everything I can on their behaviors and the characteristics around that particular animal. And then once you're done that, I want you to list 3 qualities of that animal that they embody that's resonating with you. Okay? And here's where the magic comes in, because suddenly now the interaction has meaning. And you can sit and you can deep dive into that as much as you want, but it's where that beautiful connection is. So suddenly we have this animal, it's presented itself to us, we research its behavior and traits, and then we sit back and, what are those 3 qualities? Both good, the bad, the ugly, because we might be doing a bit of shadow work with these animals right now too. And we can get into shadow work later. But for now, I just really want you guys to sort of dip your toe in the water on some of the basics, okay? And I think that this is going to be a real fun exercise. And I want you to bring all of your feedback to next week's episode or live or whatever you're going to call these little things that we're doing. Um, because next week, what we're going to do is we're going to dive into understanding animal medicine. All right. So I'm going to wish you all of the excitement around this. I'm just going to see if there's any comments below that I can see. And so far, nothing. Here we go. We've got a few people. Hey, 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 Anne and Harbinder. So everyone that's here, definitely dive into these exercises. You can DM me, Nancy Christine Brady, if you have any questions or things are popping up that you're not quite understanding. Put the comments below so that this can be a community exercise. This is an amazing community that we have here right now. And so the more that we can lean on each other and share those experiences across and with each other, often when people say, Oh, I have a dumb question. There's no such thing as a dumb question because what you're going to find is someone else sitting there might also have that question, and you may learn things at the same time together. So definitely throw some comments below. Even as you start doing these exercises for the week, come back to this post, start engaging with it. I do have a daytime non-magical job, but I will pop in as often as I can. DM me if you're not comfortable doing it in the group, but I do encourage you to do it in the group. Do it in these comments because what you're going to find is that's where the magic is. The more that we start sharing, the more that we're building out this community. So I'm going to leave that with you guys. I wish you all so much love this week. I want you to shine those lights very brightly and celebrate everybody else's lights that are shining around you. And until next Thursday, I'll see you then.